Chapter 6, Wildlife in the Canyon. First-time visitors usually are blown away by the sight of the canyon itself. All the rock! They are unaware of the incredible number of animals and plants that make the Grand Canyon their home. Riding the canyon's swirling air currents are bald eagles, ravens, red-tailed hawks, turkey vultures, and other birds of prey, which are also called raptors. Every year in September and October, National Park Service rangers lead groups of bird watchers to identify and count various types of raptors flying over the canyon. In addition to the raptors, there are 350 different species of birds that fly over or live inside the canyon. At the bottom of the canyon, there are 17 kinds of freshwater fish that live in the Colorado River or its feeder streams. There are 47 reptile species, including geckos, lizards, Gila monsters, iguanas, and 3 kinds of rattlesnakes. There are all kinds of mammals, from small creatures such as chipmunks, squirrels, mice, weasels, porcupines, raccoons, and bats to big bears, elk, deer, sheep, mountain lions, and mule deer. Depending on the time of year, visitors might glimpse elk near Grand Canyon Village. They are called Roosevelt elk and were brought to Grand Canyon Park after a native species of elk was killed off by hunters in the early 1900s. For thousands of years, people have hunted bighorn sheep, mountain lions, black bears, and mule deer in and around the Grand Canyon. The mountain lions also hunt the elk and deer. In fact, naturalists say that the average mountain lion kills 1 deer or elk per week at the canyon. This keeps the elk and deer population under control, so they will have enough food to eat. At night, thousands of bats emerge from caves in the canyon's walls and consume tons of flying insects. Only in the canyon. The pink Grand Canyon rattlesnake is found nowhere else in the world. The snake can grow to over 4 feet long and has a unique pink color. That allows it to blend in with rocks of the same color in the lower canyon. Besides the pink rattlesnake, there's also a species of squirrel, the Kaibab squirrel, that is found only in the canyon and only on its north rim. Kaibabs are light gray in color with black bellies and snow-white tails. Long tasseled ears are its most unusual feature. Unlike most squirrels, kaibabs don't store food for the winter. They eat the seeds of ponderosa pine cones as well as the bark of the tree. The most dangerous animal in the Grand Canyon, at least to tourists, is a small, furry, cute creature called the rock squirrel. Rock squirrels gather in busy areas because they use humans as vending machines. Tourists try to lure the squirrels for pictures by holding out nuts, sandwiches, fruit, and other treats. Often, tourists end up getting bitten. Besides being painful, squirrel bites can transmit disease and cause bad infection. Although people don't usually use the color green to describe the Grand Canyon, it is home to 1,750 plant species. That is more than in any other national park in the United States. Cliff rose, Apache bloom, grizzly bear, prickly pear, Mariposa lily, and desert columbine bloom throughout the canyon and give it color. One reason for the variety of plants and trees is the many different climates within the canyon. The canyon is so deep that the climate changes depending on where visitors are. Each different climate supports different kinds of plants and animals. This is what is known as a biotic community, a group of plants and animals that live together in a certain area. There are 6 different biotic communities within the canyon. They too are stacked one on top of another like layers in a gigantic cake. At the floor of the inner canyon, the climate is desert-like. In the summer, the temperature may reach over 105 degrees. The floor gets only 8 inches of rain a year, so desert plants like cacti and yucca thrive there. Agave plants bloom once every 15 to 25 years. They are found deep in the canyon. The plant's flowers, leaves, stalks, and sap can all be eaten. It is sometimes called the century plant because it takes so long to bloom. The banana yucca blooms every 2 or 3 years and produces a fruit that tastes a bit like bananas. The creatures that live on the canyon floor, such as kangaroo rats, desert iguanas, and cactus mice, have also adapted to the harsh environment. They can survive in extremely hot, dry weather. A very different biotic community is found on the canyon's north rim. It is covered with pine trees and is home to mountain lions, elk, and bighorn sheep. The north rim gets an average of 30 inches of rain and snow every year. That's a lot. In fact, there is so much snow on the north rim of the Grand Canyon that it is closed to tourists from October to May. All that precipitation, however, is necessary for ponderosa pines, Douglas firs, and spruce. The roots take hold in cracks in the sandstone so that the trees can grow. Many North Rim animals could not survive in the hot desert conditions of the canyon floor. Likewise, the plants and animals that thrive deep down in the canyon would not survive the rainy, cold North Rim winters. Although the difference in climate is like traveling from Mexico to Canada, amazingly, these biotic communities are only a mile apart.